Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, November 6th, 2015. I'm Sarah Colvin.
And I'm Sarah Mantle.
And this is Barnstable This Morning. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday.
Yay!
Yay, my favorite day of the week, and we have lots of great stuff on the program today. We're going to start things off with learning a little bit about the drama program at Sturgis. The Sturgis Theatre is our arts and culture segment for this week. We're going to head over to the HYCC. Really looking forward to this event on Saturday. We've been talking about it all week long. Try hockey for free.
Such a cool event and a great way for parents to learn about all of the different programs that are offered at HYCC, because it's not just HYCC programs. There's lots of different organizations.
Indeed, a multitude of things you can do over there. Then we'll talk with program coordinator Mickey Davies. Winter recreation programs just about to get underway. We'll tell you what's in store.
Can you believe we're talking about winter programs?
No, I don't like to say that word. Only when it's in the past, but it's coming. We'll also take you out to Sandy Neck to see the dedication of 14 acres of land, and we will talk with Jared Smaller. Time to get those dinghies off of town wastewater. So he'll give you all the information you need to know. Exactly. Well, all of that and much more coming up on this Friday morning edition of Barnstable This Morning. I wanted to make a note too to travelers. We heard a word of an accident on the Sagamore Bridge at 6:30 this morning. Apparently a pretty serious head-on crash that has caused the bridge to close. So if you are traveling off Cape today, do understand that the Sagamore Bridge is closed and you may expect some delays. So don't go off Cape if you don't need to. I guess is the answer to that.
Maybe change those plans.
That's right. So let's get right into our newscast for this Friday morning. Presentations kicked off last night's town council meeting. Councilors heard a report from Housing Committee Chair Donald Lynde, a presentation on snow and ice from Director of Public Works Dan Santos, a presentation from the Town Manager Search Committee, and the annual tax classification presentation from Director of Finance Mark Milne and Director of Assessing Jeff Rudziak. Councilors will make a decision on the tax classification options at the November 19th Town Council meeting. We'll have full coverage from last night later on Barnstable Today.
State officials were in town yesterday to take a tour of the High Arts Cultural District. Under Secretary of Economic Development Katie Stebbins and Creative Economy Director Helena Fruscio visited the High Arts Campus and Artist Shanties. Barnstable Arts and Culture Coordinator Melissa Hirsch and Director of Growth Management Joanne Miller-Buntich led the tour, which included a visit to Artist Live Workspace on Pearl Street, Gallery Art Trio, and the Geyer Barn, as well as a walk to Bismore Park to view the artist shanties.
Cape and Island State Senator Dan Wolf will not be seeking re-election. In a statement he issued earlier this week, Wolf says his decision not to run for a fourth term was one of the most difficult he's made. The Cape Air founder first ran for office 6 years ago, following many years of civic participation. We thank Senator Wolf for his years of service, and we'll look forward to our continued talks here on Barnstable This Morning.
If you're an experienced plow driver looking for work this winter, you might want to consider joining up with the town of Barnstable. The Department of Public Works is looking for experienced drivers to help with snow and ice operations this winter. The town has increased its pay rates and is offering an early sign-on bonus to those who submit complete applications by November 15th. For more information, you can visit the town's website, or you can call Joe Marshall. He can be reached at 508-790-6330.
Taking a look at sports, the Boston Bruins lost to the Washington Capitals last night. Washington took the game 4-1. Tomorrow night, the Bruins are in Montreal to face the Canadiens. The puck drops at 7 p.m. The Boston Celtics were off last night. Tonight, they host the Washington Wizards at TD Garden at 7:30. And the New England Patriots are back in action this weekend. The 7-0 Pats host the Washington Redskins. Kickoff at Gillette Stadium at 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Barnstable High School Red Raiders in action today. Girls field hockey in the MIAA quarterfinals, 5 o'clock tonight in Walpole. Boys varsity football at Nauset Regional at 7. More to come on BTM, but first let's take a look at today's weather forecast.
Well, it's going to be cloudy out there to start the day today. We'll also have some morning fog. High temps will be in the mid-60s. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with some areas of patchy fog as well. Temps won't fall too much overnight. Lows are only going to be in the mid-50s. Tomorrow will be cloudy with highs in the low 60s. Now let's take a look at today's weather photo. And this is just so cute. This is Pet Photo Friday, of course. My favorite day. This is just one of the reasons I love Friday.
Look at him.
This is Howard, and Howard belongs to Maggie Flynn. She is the administrative assistant for the licensing authority. How cute is Howard?
He is adorable. He looks really soft, and I love that. I love that name, Howard.
Yeah.
That is a great name for a dog.
Love it.
He's so cute.
Thank you so much, Maggie, for sharing Howard with us. We really appreciate it. And we would love to share your photo during our weather segment, whether it's for Pet Photo Friday or any other day of the week. Just email those photos to us. Our email address is btm@town.barnstable.ma.us. So much more to come on Barnstable this morning. Up next is our arts and culture segment. But first, let's get a look at conditions out on the water with Captain Andy Castrenz. He's aboard the Highline Ferry Grey Lady and has today's boat report.
Good morning, Barnstable. This is Captain Castrenz aboard Highline's high-speed ferry, the Grey Lady. Out here on Nantucket Sound this morning, we have widely spread fog. We have a light southwest wind, about 5 to 10 knots here. The seas are also out of the southwest, less than a foot. Visibility has been right around 1/10 of a mile this morning, maybe slightly more than that here at the moment. The water temperature is 58 degrees. The next high tide in Hyannis will be at 8:18 this morning. We do expect this patchy fog to be around all morning, and for the rest of the day, we expect the southwest wind increasing to 15 to 20 this afternoon and gusting to 25. Once again, for Barnstable this morning, I'm Captain Castrenz aboard Highline's high-speed ferry, the Grey Lady. We hope everyone out there has a good weekend.
I'm Melissa Chartrand, and I'm joined today by Anna Botsford, Diana Young, and Noom Tron. We are here at West Main Street at Sturgis to talk about Sturgis East and West stage production coming up on in November. And we've been here many times before. We've had a chance to talk about different productions you've done, but this is the first time I get to talk to you about a musical.
Yes, it is. This is our second musical we've done at Sturgis. But the first time we've sort of been interviewed by you for it, so it's exciting. And Diana Young and I are directing Once on This Island, and Noom Chong is our musical director. We're really excited about it.
And this is your first time directing.
Yes, this is the first time I'm music directing a musical. Actually, the first time I'm being a part of a musical in general. When I was in high school, I also was not a part of a musical, so this is definitely a different experience for me.
And very exciting. Well, let's talk about the play itself. Once on This Island is based actually on a book and was also a Broadway production.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was based on a book called My Love, or The Peasant Girl. It's set to take place in, it doesn't actually directly state Haiti, but it's supposed to be a very Caribbean style feel. We are not choosing to set our play there. We've chosen to depict it in a, we like to say it, an anonymous seaside town. Similar to Cape Cod, but we're not directly saying Cape Cod. You won't see the Bourne Bridge in the background or anything like that. But a big part of the book and the play as it was written originally is the race relations between the peasants and what's called the beaux hommes, or the upper class on the island. And because our Sturgis population and our cast of the musical is not quite that, we're a very diverse group of individuals, but not necessarily racially diverse, we decided, and the script actually allows for you to do it as a sort of socioeconomic difference as opposed to race relations. So, and we've also chosen to focus on the storytelling aspect, which is another really big part of the musical.
Absolutely, it's a musical fairy tale, and it's about love and life and hope. And how are the kids? So the kids are all involved. Do you have, what size cast is it?
We have about 35 in the cast itself, about 12 to 15 technical backstage crew, and about 7 or 8 in the orchestra pit.
Let's talk a little bit about that. This being your first time, how are you approaching this?
Well, we are working together really well, coordinating rehearsals and spending some time on music, spending some time blocking.
So I'm also making part recordings for the students to help them so that they can learn their parts on their own and then come in to rehearsal knowing some notes and rhythms, but then being able to add everybody else and add expression and add the musical vision that we have as well.
And as far as the kids in rehearsals, is there a lot of time? And before you answer that, did they read the book or read the play? Was that part of the process?
I think a lot of them were unfamiliar with the play when we started. It's not widely produced. I think you won't see it on Broadway so much as you'll see it in community theaters, high school theaters, because it's such a great show for that kind of cast. It's got a lot of roles and a lot of featured moments for lots of different people. There's a lot of men, a lot of women, so it's really nice for groups like that. But it's not really super popular as far as professional theaters would go, I'd say.
Several of our students had actually performed in it in middle school, so they were familiar from that. And we cast the show in the spring, and we gave them their scripts then. So over the summer, it was assumed they read the whole script and got familiar with their part. But they did not read the actual book that it's based on. But Diana and I both have read the book and are sort of using some of the storytelling from the actual book to inform our vision for the directing process.
And can you elaborate a little more on that? I know that sometimes in past productions you've done, there's different surprises or a little bit of twist. And again, as you say, your vision and what you hope for. Can you share anything along those lines with us on that?
Well, one thing we're really working with, and I'll let you elaborate on other stuff, is the physicality of the actors and really working with using bodies to create shape in space and to create the actual props and the set pieces at sometimes. We actually have I don't know if I want to give too much away, but the creation of a tree happening with physicality, so that's kind of exciting.
Very.
You wanna?
Yeah, and something we found in researching the play is really akin to kind of our style of working, is that Once on This Island was developed as a workshop. And so meaning that the ensemble that originally put it together kind of tried things out and said, okay, let's use that, let's not use that. There wasn't necessarily like a set script that they were given. So we've been working a lot with that aspect of like, okay, we're telling the students this is the general idea that we're looking for and saying, how can you manifest that with your voice or with your body? So that's been a really big part of our work as well.
Yeah, we're working together, both Diana and I, not necessarily being like, we're the directors telling you what to do, but like, ooh, what can you give us, kids? And then they do something, we're like, oh my God, that was awesome. Let's roll with it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then when it all comes together, and it's going to come together and it's at a venue, it's at Mashpee High School this year, which is a lot of space. I know that you've been used to in past working in very small spaces.
Yeah, last year our fall production was at Harwich Junior Theater, which was a pretty good sized stage, but this one is even larger. Our one acts typically take place in the Katuitt Theater Black Box. So this is a really nice opportunity for our students to get the chance to work in a big theater, big auditorium, large audience. So I think it's going to be a challenge for some of them to work with that because we're not really used to having to project our voices that much, and especially in a musical to have to then project your voices over the pit orchestra. So I think that's going to be a big adjustment when we get there, but I think it's going to be really fun. It's allowed us to play a little bit more with what we can do as far as set and movement. Michelle Colley, who's our choreographer, is also doing a lot of really great work with using the space, and she's got kind of a hard job because not all of our students would consider themselves like really strong dancers, but she's working with them really well to create a lot of really great stage pictures.
Excellent. Total team effort. Really look forward to seeing the production. For our viewers, let's let them know how they can get more information. A ticket price is so affordable, and to support the local production is what we want them to do. And how can we get information on that?
So the performances are November 13th, 14th, and 15th at Mashpee High School. The Friday night performance is at 7. Saturday there's a matinee at 2 o'clock, and then an evening performance at 7, and then on Sunday we close with a 2 o'clock performance. Tickets are $15, and you can email your order to stagetix@sturgischarterschool.org and just let us know how many tickets you want, if they're adult or student, and for which evening you're coming. So.
Great. Well, thank you so much, all of you, for your time today. We want our viewers to make sure you check out Once on This Island. Thank you so much for your time today. For Stage East and West, I'm Melissa Chartrand, wishing you an artful day.
You're watching Barnstable this morning. Joining me now is Joe Izzo. Joe is the general manager of the Hyannis Youth and Community Center. We are here in the rink today because we want to talk about a really special event that's happening tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. here at the HYCC. It's Try Hockey for Free Day. It's a national program run by USA Hockey, and rinks throughout the country participate in it. And it's a great chance for kids and families to try the sport of ice hockey, have questions answered about the sport of ice hockey, and find out anything and everything they want to know about hockey. And we're doing it here at the HYCC for the first time ever.
Really cool to think about this event because you guys actually run a multitude of programs here for hockey.
Yeah, we sure
So
do.
there are different options for parents and children to choose from. Talk to me a little bit about the different programs that are here and maybe what the parents will learn a little bit more about if they come to the event tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Well, the HYCC runs we have a skating school which encompasses both figure skating and learn to play hockey, which is really an introduction, sort of the lowest building block of getting kids introduced to skating and getting kids introduced to hockey. So George Noonan runs a learn to play hockey group, which is it's called Learn to Play Hockey, and typically it's for kids 5, 6, 7 years old, but we will take older kids. But typically it's kind of right in that age group where kids kind of know how to skate, maybe know how to skate a little bit, maybe they don't know how to skate at all. This is a great program for them to get in, kind of get out on the ice, learn how to skate a little, learn what a stick is, and pads and helmets, and how to put gear on, and really just a great basic level introduction to the sport of ice hockey and to skating in general. And so that's the HYCC program. And we have 3 great youth hockey programs in our facility: Barnstable Youth Hockey, New England Junior Hurricanes, and the Cape Cod Penguins. And Barnstable Youth Hockey is our biggest user of the facility. They run programs all the way from mini mites, which is the same kind of age group, 4 and 5 year old, little kids who are just starting out into the sport. And Barnstable Youth Hockey has kids, both boys and girls, that go all the way up to high school. So they really run the gamut. They teach kids how to play hockey. They get them started at a very young age, and then they work. They have these kids and families have the opportunity to sort of work up through the system and continue to play well into their high school years. And so that's Barnstable Youth Hockey, and they have different programs and different teams and different levels. So they sort of have anything and everything under the sun as far as hockey is concerned. So, if you have a child who kind of knows how to play and wants to get involved on a team and maybe wants to travel or doesn't want to travel, or Barnstable Youth Hockey might be the way to go for your child. And then we have the New England Junior Hurricanes, which is run by Top Shelf Hockey here in the building, and they've been here since the building opened. Same with BYJ. I mean, BYJ has been a partner of the town of Barnstable, I think, for the last 50 or 60 years, forever. We've been, they skated in the old Kennedy rink, and they were hugely instrumental in helping to get this facility built. So, we have these great partnerships. So anyway, I digress. The New England Junior Hurricanes and Top Shelf Hockey, they offer programs for little kids all the way up to high school as well, but they start a little bit older than the mini mites, the 4 and 5 years old. That program is not geared so much to the kids who are just starting skating. It's geared towards maybe a little bit higher level skater, and their programs are pretty intense. I don't want to, speak for them, but I think what they're looking for is a little bit higher level skater, somebody who's a little bit more into the sport of hockey, someone who, doesn't mind traveling, 40 weeks out of the year to different tournaments and things like that. So, and then we have a brand new program, which is the Cape Cod Penguins, which is run by 3 former NHL players that reside here on Cape Cod and in the town of Barnstable. And they approached us last summer and said, we're looking to put together a program for our kids, for their families, and they wanted the opportunity to be able to teach them and to coach them, and that group is geared towards 4, 5, and 6 year olds who just want to skate here a couple of days a week. And I think they've joined a league in Falmouth where they just play games on Saturdays and Sundays only in Falmouth. So there's not a whole bunch of different travel associated with that group, and it's only for a specific age group, and they have their niche. So each one of the youth hockey organizations here, whether it's our program or BYJ, NEJH, or the Penguins, we each sort of fill a different niche for a different different families or what different families are looking for. So Saturday morning at 9 a.m. here at the HYCC is the opportunity to ask questions about the programs and then to actually physically get on the ice. Strap on a pair of skates if you've never done it before, or if you have and you're kind of maybe don't really know how to skate or want to learn more in that way, you can put on a pair of skates. You can go through some different drills that we'll have set up that have been established by USA Hockey that will be happening throughout the country. They're doing the same program at Tony Kent right down the road. They're doing it, I think, in Plymouth as well. So there are some rinks here, in our local area that are also doing it. But again, this is the first time we're doing it. We're really excited about it, and it's really great to have all the different organizations that call the HYCC home here, so you can physically go up to George, or you can go up to somebody from BYHA, whether it's Sean Roycroft, the president, and say, what exactly is it? What is the commitment? What do I need? What can I expect from your program? What does it cost? What is the travel like? What are the helmets? What exactly is a shin guard? Those kind of things. So I'm super excited about it. As as a parent myself, I wouldn't even know where to start in the sport of hockey. Because I didn't grow up playing hockey. I don't really know very much about it, or I didn't before I came here. So hopefully this is an opportunity to get people like me or like Joe Public to come out and say, here, I have these questions, and what is this? What is power skating? What is this? What is a slap shot? What is whatever?
Well, and I was thinking too, Joe, you as the manager of the HYCC and HYCC staff here are not in charge of signing kids up for these programs that are run out of the HYCC.
Correct.
So it's a really unique opportunity for parents, I think, to get information from one source and one-stop shopping.
Yeah.
You can sort of get a feel for each individual program. There's not a lot of running around trying to locate the different websites.
Definitely.
And in some cases, like you said, we wouldn't know where to start. Same here. I don't know a lot about hockey, didn't grow up playing hockey, so definitely it's a good introduction for parents, I think, who may not even know about those programs that are run out of the HYCC.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think one of the best things about it is that you're not bringing your checkbook. Right. You're not signing up on Saturday. There's no commitment. It's an information session. You're coming, you're kicking the tires, you're asking any and all questions that you can possibly think of, and that's what's going to be really cool about this event. And I see this event growing year after year after year as more families, with young kids kind of come up through the system, and just we keep continuing this process. And we're educating, right? I mean, we want people to know that it's not just BYHA here. It's not just New England Junior Hurricanes. There's not just the HYCC here. There's lots of different things to do. There's lots of different ways to get involved. And whether you're looking for something that's, a huge time commitment and something that your child wants to go all in on, or whether it's something that your child wants to kind of dip their toes in, or whether your child just wants to kind of hang back. We have something here for everybody, for all.
It's so great because kids are so different. I mean, everybody has a different level of, what they want to participate, and so really cool that there are so many different programs. I think it's really great too that it's free and there's no commitment.
Right.
You don't have to sign up in advance to come. What should attendees make sure to bring with them? Is there anything that they need to bring?
A list of questions and an open mind. I think those would probably be the two best things. Yeah, just come with your curiosity and don't be afraid to ask questions. But the great thing about our staff and the staffs of the various organizations is that they're all so welcoming, so inviting, and so willing to share their knowledge and their experience, and so willing to sort of preach about their product, whatever their product may be, whether it's, George's Learn to Skate here, or Learn to Play Hockey here at the HYCC. He's so passionate about it, and he can tell, families and kids what they can expect, and he gets super excited about it. And BYHA is the same thing, and the Hurricanes, the New England Junior Hurricanes are the same, and the Penguins. So it's gonna, there'll be an atmosphere or a vibe here on Saturday morning of, people who are excited about their programs, people who want to talk about it, and people who want to share information. And like I said, you don't need your checkbook. There's not going to be any strong arm tactics by anybody, because all of us want the same thing. We all want kids and families to get involved in the sport of hockey, or at the highest level, we all want our kids and families to get involved in something that they can do and something that they can love ultimately be passionate about, and something that will keep them involved.
Yeah, fun way to stay fit. All kinds of great benefits
Definitely.
come from being involved in these types of activities. It begins at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
How long do you think this event is going to run?
The on-ice activities, the on-ice skills, and the different drills, that will take place for an hour. That'll go from 9 to 10. But we'll be here for as long as it takes, as long as people have questions, as long as people want information. We will be here answering questions, and BYJ will be here, and the Hurricanes, and the guys from the Penguins. So yeah,
Awesome.
we'll take as much time as we need, because really it's about education. It's about having people feel comfortable and learning more. And I mean, that's the only way we're really going to make good decisions for ourselves and for our families, is to make sure that we have as much information as possible. Because nobody wants to sign somebody up and then, in 2 months later say, I did not expect this, or I thought we were going to go to the Olympics, or whatever it may be. So we want to really get as much information out as possible and have people leaving here feeling confident and feeling comfortable and feeling like they know, okay, yes, I'm going to make a good decision for my child.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe, for telling us all about this exciting event. Can't wait to hear all about it next week, and look forward to chatting with you again.
Thanks
then.
for coming by.
Joe Izzo is the General Manager of the Hyannis Youth and Community Center for Barnstable this morning. I'm Sarah Mantle.
And we're back with more Barnstable this morning on this Friday morning. I just took a look at the Bourne Police Department's Twitter feed, and the incident on the Sagamore Bridge is still going on, I guess. We talked about that at the top of the hour. There was a head-on crash on the Sagamore Bridge. The bridge is closed. The Bourne Police had a picture. Looks like a cranberry truck was involved. A whole big load of cranberries is spilled all over the bridge, and I believe there was an injury in that accident. So if you are heading off Cape in the Sagamore Bridge area, expect delays and take an alternate route, because the bridge is closed for a little while.
Definitely not convenient for those who are heading off Cape. Maybe want to evaluate
Exactly.
those plans.
That's right. I think if you can maybe Skype that
Hold it
meeting.
on, yeah.
Exactly. Something
Hold
like
it
that.
off.
Hold off for a little bit. So traffic updates aside, what do we have going on in community calendar?
So many cool things. You know, the New Classics Company really worked with the Geyer Barn over the summer, and they put on some productions for the summer, and they are continuing this activity at the Geyer Barn throughout the fall. This is really cool. Every Friday, they're going to have at 9 o'clock at the Geyer Barn, they're having improv comedy at the Geyer Barn. So this is going to be, you know, they change it weekly. It is free to attend and to watch, and these guys are so fun to watch. The New Classics Company, a bunch of young, passionate theater buffs. So this would be a great event to get out there and enjoy. Just, you know, free entertainment is where it's at.
Absolutely.
Also, this is a really cool holiday appropriate event coming up at the Senior Center on Monday. It does require registration, so if you want to attend, it is free to attend, but you do want to call. It's happening Monday at 11, and you're going to learn how to make your own holiday centerpiece. Yeah, so Gail Riley from the Osterville Garden Club is going to be there, and they will demonstrate how to make your own tabletop boxwood tree and then decorate it for the holiday season. Isn't that nice?
I can't believe we're saying words like winter and holiday in
I
our
know.
newscast today, but that's would be a lot of fun. A good holiday project.
Yeah, and free. Again, my favorite four-letter word, free to attend. So Monday at the Senior Center, 11 a.m. All you have to do, you do have to call and sign up.
Awesome. Okay, good stuff. Well, let's get right into our newscast for this, I almost said Monday, it's Friday. It's Friday, much better than Monday, Friday morning. A bunch of presentations kicked off last night's town council meeting. Councilors heard a report from Housing Committee Chair Donald Blind, a presentation on snow and ice from Director of Public Works Dan Santos, a presentation from the Town Manager Search Committee, and the annual tax classification presentation from Director of Finance Mark Milne and Director of Assessing Jeff Rudziak. Councilors will make a decision on the tax classification options at the November 19th Town Council meeting. We'll have full coverage from last night later on Barnstable Today.
State officials were in town yesterday to take a tour of the High Arts Cultural District. Undersecretary of Economic Development Katie Stebbins and Creative Economy Director Helena Fruscio visited the High Arts campus and artist shanties. Barnstable Arts and Culture Coordinator Melissa Hirsch and Director of Growth Management Joanne Miller-Buntich led the tour, which included a visit to Artist Live Work Space on Pearl Street, Gallery Art Trio, and the Geyer Barn, as well as a walk to Bismore Park to view the artist shanties.
Cape and Island State Senator Dan Wolf will not be seeking re-election. In a statement he issued on November 4th, Wolf says his decision not to run for a fourth term was one of the most difficult he's made. The Cape Air founder first ran for office 6 years ago, following many years of civic participation. We thank Senator Wolf for his years of service, and we'll look forward to our continued talks here on Barnstable this morning.
Well, if you're an experienced plow driver looking for work this winter, you might want to consider joining up with the town of Barnstable. The Department of Public Works is looking for experienced drivers to help with snow and ice operations this winter. The town has increased its pay rates and is offering an early sign-on bonus to those who submit complete applications by November 15th. For more information, you can visit the town's website or you can call Joe Marshall. He can be reached at 508-790-6330.
Taking a look at sports, the Boston Bruins lost to the Washington Capitals last night. Washington took the game 4-1. Tomorrow night, the Bruins are in Montreal to face the Canadiens. The puck drops at 7 p.m. The Boston Celtics were off last night. Tonight, they host the Washington Wizards at TD Garden at 7:30. And the New England Patriots are back in action this weekend. The 7-0 Pats host the Washington Redskins. Kickoff at 1 o'clock at Gillette Stadium Sunday afternoon. Barnstable High School Red Raiders in action today. Girls field hockey in the MIAA quarterfinals. 5 o'clock tonight at Walpole. Boys varsity football at Nauset Regional at 7. More to come on BTM, but first let's take a look at today's weather forecast.
It will be cloudy to start the day today. We're also going to have some morning fog out there. High temps will be in the mid-60s today. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with some areas of patchy fog, and temps aren't going to fall too much overnight. Lows are going to be in the mid-50s. Tomorrow will be cloudy with highs in the low 60s. Now let's take a look at today's weather photo. And Pet Photo Friday is my favorite day of the week. I just love seeing everyone's little pets. This is Howard, and Howard belongs to Maggie Flynn. She is the administrative assistant for the licensing authority. Howard is just adorable.
I really want to cuddle him.
I
He's
know.
so cute. He just looks so soft and furry, and his name is
calm.
Howard, and
Yeah,
just
he's
can't
so
even take
cute.
it.
Love it. Well, thank you, Maggie, for sharing Howard with us. We just think he's adorable. And we would love to share your photos during our weather segment. All you have to do is email those photos to us. The email address is btm@town.barnstable.ma.us. So much more to come on Barnstable this morning. Up next, we're going to talk with program coordinator Mickey Davies. She's going to tell us all about this winter's activities with the Recreation Division. But first, let's get a look at conditions out on the water with Captain Andy Castrenz. He's aboard the Highline Ferry Great Lady and has today's boat report.
Good morning, Barnstable. This is Captain Castrenz aboard Highline High-Speed Ferry the Gray Lady. Out here on Nantucket Sound this morning, we have widely spread fog. We have a light southwest wind, about 5 to 10 knots here. The seas are also out of the southwest, less than a foot. Visibility has been right around 1/10 of a mile this morning, maybe slightly more than that here at the moment. The water temperature is 58 degrees. The next high tide in Hyannis will be at 8:18 this morning. We do expect this patchy fog to be around all morning, and for the rest of the day, we expect the southwest wind increasing to 15 to 20 this afternoon and gusting to 25. Once again, for Barnstable this morning, I'm Captain Castrenz aboard Highline's High-Speed Ferry the Gray Lady. We hope everyone out there has a good weekend.
You're watching Barnstable this morning. Joining me now is Mickey Davies. Mickey is a program coordinator here for the town of Barnstable. So good to chat with you. One of the things that's happening this week is registration has opened up. Classes are starting to fill up in fact, some of the courses have already been filled.
Yes, actually a lot of the courses have already been filled, and we just started registration yesterday morning, so it's really important that if you are looking to get into a certain program, that you please register online or come into the HYCC and register. Already for full programs, our babysitting program is full, our Lego robotics program is full, our holiday baking program is full, and knitting is on its way to being full, Sunset Adventure is on its way to being full. And a lot of our boys' basketball programs are really kind of getting up in numbers, so you want to make sure that you get in.
Wow, really great to see so many people participating.
Right.
There are still some courses open and available, so definitely if there's something you're interested in, get on now.
Yes.
Do you guys make a wait list?
We do make a wait list, and definitely if you want a program badly enough and it is full, please put yourself on the wait list. If somebody does drop out of the program, we will notify you. You won't have to call us to keep checking, to find out if a spot is open. The second one does open, we will inform the first person on the wait list, offer it to them, and then continue to go down the list.
Wonderful, so good to know. And sometimes I think
Yeah.
even that wait list can help you guys assess how many people are interested in a program to see how many spots you need available for
Right.
next year, or maybe even possibly add another class.
Exactly.
So, it just depends on the interest. So important to get on that wait list.
It is, and sometimes we can offer another class right that same season, you know what I mean? Other times, it needs more preparation than that. But it is good to know the information about how many people are on the wait list for sure.
Awesome.
Definitely
What
helps.
are your most popular classes each year, do you think, for winter activities?
Oh, basketball is always popular, but right now that futsal soccer is doing, terrific. Kids seem to really be wanting to be involved in that soccer program. And so we're getting a lot of registrations for that, and especially with the younger kids. So if you want to play some soccer, you got to come on in or get online and do some registration for that.
Now, I think in the winter registration, do you guys have a program for parents who may need care? I think there are a couple days in December that have like half days, and you guys actually offer care for those days, as well as, is the February vacation included in this round
December
of activities?
and February vacation, as well as the half days of play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds better.
Yeah.
So yeah. We do have half days of play, and I think the first one is December 8th, and that's bowling. And then the next one, I think, is only a couple of days later, and that's to the movies. And then we'll be doing mini golf sometime in the spring. So it's a great day, especially if you're working. Your kids get picked up at the school. We bring them out to lunch at Polio's, who has great pizza.
Yeah.
You know, so we have a terrific lunch, and then we go and we do whatever the special activity is. We come back here to the HYCC where we're able to use the game room, and if the open gym is open, we're able to go in there while we wait for our parents to pick us up.
So cool too, because when you were describing the program to me, it seems like an activity that kids would really want to participate in and not feel as if, you know, oh, I have to do this.
Yeah,
this is great.
And it usually fills right up, and we get a good group of kids who come, and you know, we get to spend the day together. We've done laser tag in the past and other stuff. So I mean, and a lot of times it's the same kids that come back, so they, you know, form a really great group, and then some new people come into the group, and I really love it. It's great, and you get to spend. It's like a mini camp day for me, so I like that.
Wonderful. So exciting. I can't believe we're signing up for winter programs. Anything in there that is different maybe than last year?
Well, you know, what I really always like to talk about, and I think people don't know how much fun it is the magic class with Richard Archer. It's not new, but he is so much fun, and the things that he can teach you are going to be so entertaining through the holidays. So I have to like really recommend that people sign up for this course with him, because your kids are going to have great fun with, you know, relatives and family that are over for the holidays, kind of entertaining them with, you know, disappearing tricks and different things that they can do.
And kids love that. I mean, kids really love, I see lots of magic kits and stuff, so to have this opportunity to have someone teach it to you, how cool is that?
Yes, and you know, he buys the supplies for you, so you do have the supplies to take home so that you can recreate it later in front of your own family and friends. And I mean, in the video age now, everybody's got their phone out, and who doesn't want a great video of their kid performing a magic act, you know? So I love it, and I think that if you haven't thought about it, please think about doing the magic program with Richard Archer. It's
so awesome. Well, he's fabulous.
He is. He's great. He just came for Halloween, and the kids love him.
Yeah.
You know, so they get to see the behind the scenes.
Yeah, you always want to know those secrets.
You know, the mysteries behind the magic, and hopefully they don't call him out when he's on stage later.
Yeah, exactly.
All his participants who he teaches. I know how you're doing that.
I took that class.
You know, isn't that the magician code, though?
Right.
I mean, I'm sure they learned that.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today about all of the great recreation programs that are still available. And of course, if our viewers are watching, get online now. You can register for these courses online, or you can come into the HYCC. Thank you so much, Mickey.
Oh, so much fun. Love to have you.
And of course, Mickey Davies, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, Sarah. Mickey Davies is a program coordinator for the town of Barnstable. For Barnstable This Morning, I'm Sarah Mantle. Sandy Neck staff, town leaders, and residents celebrate the preservation of 14 acres of land on the popular beach. The parcel, located on Little Neck, close to Beach Point, is comprised of an extensive dune system, front beach, and mud flats. It's home to a variety of wildlife and a large variety of shorebird species, including threatened piping plovers. The complex dune system provides storm damage protection by acting as the first line of defense for the cottage colony, Barnstable Harbor, the mainlands of Barnstable, and the Great Marsh. It is one of the few undeveloped pieces of Sandy Neck and is the missing link in the protection of the entire barrier beach system. A beautiful sign created by the Barnstable Senior Center woodcarvers was also officially unveiled on Sunday afternoon.
Joining us today. My name is Lynn Poyan. I'm the Director of Community Services for the town, and it just feels very appropriate that we have a celebration of a couple of things, our new totem and the 14-acre purchase of land through CPC funds actually on the site. I want to introduce Donna Bragg, who has a special presentation for us.
Yes, I'd like to call up George Ford and Jack Mooney, please. Come and see me here. I was privileged to go to the Leadership Academy, town of Barnstable, inside to learn all about how our town works. And one of the places that we got to visit was the Senior Center. And I was amazed at the work that these folks could do with the wood carving. And then I had a thought. And then I went to Nina. And Nina said, run with it. And I did. So I talked to Shepley's, and Shepley's our totem. And then I talked to these gentlemen, and they said, yes, we'll do it. And how long did it take, guys, to do it?
Over 6 months.
Over 6 months. They saw my vision, they felt the vision, they knew what we wanted, and they did the vision. So I'm going to show you, I'd like to present to you our finished totem, Sandy Neck Beach Park totem. And I want to tell you that this is going to, we thought we were going to put it outside. No. This is going to proudly hang. We're having a new window put into Sandy Neck Gatehouse, a picture window. This will proudly hang there. It will be lighted, and it will be there forever for people to see. And I want to thank you, gentlemen, and George and Jack. This is a little plaque that we're going to present to you guys that you can hang in the Senior Center. It says, presented to George Ford and Jack Mooney with grateful appreciation for the Sandy Neck Totem, Sandy Neck Beach Park 2015. Thank you. Thank you. And you guys here, take this together. Yep, get in there.
So you may be wondering why we're combining these two events. This parcel purchase, which is behind me right here, is this parcel, 14 acres of land that's been protected forever thanks to the town of Barnstable and CPC funding. And what we were trying to do with our totem sort of is part of the preservation of this property. It all is sort of holistically connected. The totem is a snowy owl. And we all know Sandy Neck is known now for snowy owls. In fact, as we stand here, we have a snowy owl watching us. And the snowy owl represents a guardian. And so we were trying to figure out how to create an image that was all Sandy Neck. There's so much going on here. There are the people, there is the land, there are the creatures, there's the plants. How do you represent that whole thing as a being? And we came up with this totem. The owl is the guardian of our beach and all the parts and pieces of our beach. And inside this totem is our sea turtles. There's the lighthouse. There's a piping plover. Yes, that's part of us. Yeah, big part. There's the fish and the shellfish. There's an off-road vehicle. It's all inclusive. So that's why we chose this as our symbol of Sandy Neck. It's a beautiful piece that was created by the wood carvers of the Senior Center. Very, very grateful. It'll be enjoyed for many years. Thank you. And then this is going to lead into our parcel purchase because these owls sit right there on that dune behind us. This is their favorite perch, is on this property that we just purchased.
Well, this was sort of an interesting road to get to this. The owners had brought this to court to settle an owner's unknown case that had been lingering around since I can remember, just forever. And we had the opportunity to acquire it. That came up rather suddenly because they had, as many of you saw the newspaper, it was being listed for sale. And there were a lot of very interesting ideas for out here. Building an echo camp, and one fellow wanted to buy it and put a trailer in it. Remember that? So we had to act rather quickly, so I, on behalf of the town, was able to make an offer and secure the property. And then it went through the normal CPC process. But I say normal, and when you're involved with CPC, and Tom Lee will back me up, there's nothing normal. You have title issues with a piece of property like this. My first question was, okay, Nina, where is it? Where are the boundaries? So we were able to work through the process. But I know recently I've been getting these awards and things, but you never do any of this alone. This took an effort from Lynn's department, Sandy Neck staff, town council, town management had to get involved very deeply. Legal department, David Houghton spent hours on the title because it was a bit sketchy and how that transfer was going to occur through the courts. Fortunately, we had a very favorable relationship with the custodian, Chuck Savitt, who really did yeoman's work to work through those details. So it was really as many, if not all of these efforts that we do through CPC, it's a team effort, and it really comes from the team effort that took to create the CPC in Barnstable. You all voted to tax yourselves 3% every year, and that gives us the funds to move forward. So projects like this are doable, but everybody, like as in this case, puts their shoulder to the wheel, we can get these kinds of things done. So I want to thank all of you for supporting me and allowing me to do what I do, and this is the kind of result you can get.
This all happened because Nina, I was going to say Ruby. Nina and Donna had a vision, and Donna was really the driving force behind this. I mean, it's her homemade chili and everything else. She came out here with her mom to set the fire pit going so that everyone that was here could have the true Sandy Neck experience, so that if you haven't had it before, you've had it now.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Eat more chili.
Thank you, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. You're watching Barnstable this morning, just about 9 minutes toward the top of the hour. I'm Sarah Colvin, and joining me live on the phone, I welcome Assistant Harbor Master Jared Smaller. Jared, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Excellent.
So, Jared, I wanted to talk about a couple of things this morning. First, I want to talk about aids to navigation. I understand we're in the time of year in which those are being removed from the waterways. Tell me a little bit about what's going on out there.
Yes. At the present time, or actually as of November 1st, our permits for the aids to navigation run through November 1, where that's the minimum time frame that we can keep them in until. So we typically start hauling them out right around there. This week, fortunately, the weather has been great for me, so I've gotten all of the south side aids to navigation are presently out of the water, and the north side will be coming out hopefully the beginning of next week. So there is relatively no marked channels with town-owned aids to navigation.
Indeed, and so for those who may not be as familiar with the waterways, those are the nuns and the cans, or the channel markers, as you say, that kind of help people understand where they can go in and out of the harbors.
Yes, that's correct. Through the Three Bays area, East Bay and the Centerville River, and some of our regulatory aids, which are speed limit signs and things like that, through Hyannis and Hyannisport. The Lewis Bay entrance channel in Hyannis is still marked because that's a federal channel, so the U.S. Coast Guard is responsible for that.
And why is it important, or why do we take these navigational aids out in the winter? Is it just because they
need maintenance every year, simply because the chain wears through electrolysis and other factors over the course of the season, plus tidal influx will cause some wear on it as well. And with the possibility of icing over the winter and the fact that we're not out monitoring them on a regular basis, they do tend to move. If we get ice and a higher tide, that can definitely move them, and an unknowing boater can think that a channel marker is in the appropriate place and then still run aground or hit a submerged object or something like that, because it is off station.
Indeed, and of course, even though these do get removed, and certainly boat traffic is a lot lighter in the winter time, people can still get in and out of the harbor, but it's more you just have to be aware of where the channel is, and you don't have those markers to rely on.
That's correct. It's all as with boating at any point in the season, it is at your own peril, and floating aids to navigation should never be your sole source of navigatory or navigational means. But yes, you can still access the harbors, and typically most navigation systems, electronic navigation systems, do show where the good water is.
Absolutely. So, Jared, anything else about that? How much more work do you have to do? Again, as you said, the weather has been absolutely fantastic, so I'm sure that's made the job much easier than it's been in the past.
It has made it much easier. Like I said, this week alone, I was able to haul all of the south side aids, and the beginning of next week, I will get the north side aids out. So hopefully by the holiday next Wednesday, everything will be out of the water.
Fantastic. Well, let's talk about, again, this is the time of year when we're taking things out of the water, and of course dinghies at town ways to water. The regulations changed in the past couple of years. Tell me a little bit about what people need to know about boats they may have stored down or around some of those town ways to water.
As of November 15th, all dinghies and vessels have to be removed from town ways to water per town manager regulation a few years ago. And the only reason that they could stay is if you have authorization from the harbor master after you've submitted, a written request for a proven need to leave it there. And that being the key is a proven need, not just simply because you want to keep your boat in the water longer. And an example of that would be if you were a mooring servicer or a commercial fisherman that has a boat on a mooring that's going to stay in for a longer period of time. Those are two small examples of what a proven need would be.
So what happens, Jared, if someone does happen to leave their vessel down by the town ways of water? I know that you had asked everyone to have identification stickers affixed to their boats. Did people have people been complying with that? And I'm sure that will be helpful for identifying people's boats if they are left after that deadline passes.
Yes, those have been very helpful, particularly with some of the new regulations that went in this year concerning sides. They've let us identify people and make phone calls and have people remove things to be in compliance. But starting November 15th, any vessel that is left at a town way to water without authorization is deemed abandoned property by the town manager's regulation and is subject to removal and disposal at our discretion through the Harbor Master Department. So if it is still there after November 15th, we will be going through and removing all of those. And we typically store them in hopes that people come and try to recover them. And there is a fee associated with recovery. That fee is $60.40, and that's based on state regulations as to how those fees have to be
Sure.
defined.
So definitely important if you A, don't want to pay the fee, and B, want to keep your boat and not have it be sold at auction or considered abandoned property. Important to get that off the beach. Driving around, Jared, have you noticed, are there a lot of boats still left at those town ways to water, or have people been pretty good about getting them off of the beach?
People have been pretty good. The last few years, since the regulation went into place, I have seen the number of them decrease significantly year after year. In the beginning, there was a lot of things that were just garbage that were left and had been there over time that we just disposed of. But the serviceable and usable dinghies and vessels like that, the number that have been left after November 15th has decreased significantly. I think last year we may have taken 6 or 8 in the fall, which is down from more than double that the season before.
Excellent. Well, again, November 15th is that deadline. Jared, anything else that you would like our viewers to be aware of today?
No, I think that's about it for the season.
All right, great. Well, I thank you so much, and we will check in with you again sometime in the future. Have a great weekend.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Jared Smaller, Assistant Harbor Master. Important to get those boats and dinghies off the beach by November 15th.
It's making me think about all the things I need to do that I haven't done yet.
All those winter things. And did you notice the leaves on the ground? I feel like every tree in the past 2 days just said, we're gonna dump it.
We're shedding.
It's time. So I guess there's some raking in the future. Oh, well, it's a quiet day today.
Yeah, Friday, no meetings. Enjoy the day.
That's right. And we will, of course, you'll have full coverage of last night's town council meeting later on Barnstable today, so you want to tune in for that. But we are here with Barnstable this morning, each and every weekday morning, starting at 7 a.m., bringing you news, information, and interviews to help keep you up to date, informed, to get your day started off on the right foot. We'll be back Monday with more BTM. Assistant Town Manager Mark Ells will join us. We'll have our schools segment where we'll talk about bus safety. Bill Butler, Interim Superintendent of Schools, will be here, and Cape Cod Community College Communications Director Michael Gross. All of that and much more on Monday Morning Show. For now, I'm Sarah Colvin.
And I'm Sarah Mantle.
Thank you all so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you right back here on Monday morning at 7.